Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be giving the full breakdown on future college football stadium renovations. With college football, teams tend to renovate their stadium rather than build a new one, so we do have a number of renovations not only happening this offseason, but off seasons into the future. A lot of these are planned, and it always seems to be a multi-year process with these renovations, so normally it'll take 2 or 3 years for a stadium to change, but we're going to start with First Bank Stadium, home of Vanderbilt. We remember early in the season the debacle with both of the end zones being complete construction sites. Well, those should be finished for 2024. They're going to have many months to complete it. Both of the end zones getting renovations, being built up, and they did limit the capacity pretty significantly considering Vanderbilt. They don't have a huge fan base, and their football team has been horribly buried at the bottom of the SEC. But I'm excited for their renovations. It's very rare a college football team will renovate both ends of the stadium or both end zones. Normally it's just one to close the stadium, but one of the end zones is going to be to close it. The other end zone is just they're taking out normal seats and putting in, bars, standing room areas, like a little building. It looks nice. So that's going to be coming, and we will see how that looks this coming season. The next one, it is Falcon Stadium, home of Air Force. This is called the Revitalization Project, and that's exactly what it is. They are getting brand new seats that spell out Air Force, also that dark blue color as well. This is an underrated stadium, and also you can see the exterior is being renovated and built up a little bit as well. This is expected to be finished for the 2024 season, so all of the new seats should be in, and we should get a new look at Falcon Stadium. Remember, Air Force, what did they start off 8-0, and then they lost like 4 straight games? They rage quit the season, yeah, but Air Force, they're getting a nice renovation prior to 2024. The next stadium, it is Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium, home of Memphis. This is a stadium I'm really not a fan of. It's just a giant bowl going all the way around. Now they're renovating the exterior and the interior, adding a bunch of luxury seats, a bunch of suites and things like that. Also, the concourses are getting renovated, and they're also adding exterior lights going all the way around the bowl that are supposed to light up in blue, so that's pretty cool as well. It's around $150 to $200 million in terms of the renovation, and it's supposed to be completed by 2025, so possibly not this offseason. Maybe they'll do part of it this offseason and then the bigger part next offseason, but for 2025. I also know that this renovation is supposed to tie into the FedEx Forum renovation there in Memphis, so I wonder if this will get held up at all in terms of that, but either way, this is coming in the future. The next stadium that's getting renovated, it is Albertson Stadium, home of Boise State. So this is a long time coming considering how good Boise State has been, where they project next year. I'm very high on them. This renovation entails finally closing off the one end zone and closing up their stadium for good. Also, they increased the capacity from 37,000 to 40,000. The total cost of this is around $35 million, and the final project will be officially completed for the 2025 season. So they'll do some work this offseason and then some work next offseason. And then in 2025 in the fall, it should be officially done and ready to go. Neyland Stadium is continuing their multi-year renovation, which has already started. The bigger improvements already happened. The total cost of this, though, is around $300 million, and it's not going to be fully completed until the start of the 2026 season. They've also pondered possibly putting up a hotel right next to Neyland Stadium, give people more options that are coming into town into Knoxville for a Tennessee Volunteers game. But another cool factor of this renovation is the exterior lighting, the Vol sign that lights up as well, and they've already completed taking out some sections in the upper deck and putting in standing room areas, as well as some luxury actual real seats, not bleachers, down both sides of the sidelines. That is Neyland Stadium. They are in the midst of a bigger renovation. The next one, it is Jones AT&T Stadium for Texas Tech. So this is a big one that is happening right now this offseason. It is one of their end zones. It is a pretty crazy design if you look at it with those arches and the brick. I think it looks beautiful, at least just from the rendering. We'll see how it turns out, but this is a $200 million project to close the south end zone, and the construction started following the 2022 season. It's going to be completed for the 2024 season. This is the big step where they are doing the construction to the south end zone, and we will see how that looks at the start of 2024. But Texas Tech, that's a big one. The next one, it is Nebraska Memorial Stadium. So this came out in October during the season that Nebraska was going to be getting possibly upwards of a $500 million renovation to their Memorial Stadium. If you look at Nebraska right now, both of their end zones are just giant walls of seats. They're supposed to chop off a lot of the capacity, maybe by 10,000 people, and both of the ends are getting total makeovers, kind of like Vanderbilt to a degree, where it's going to be more built up with luxury areas and party decks and things like that. And I do think it will look better, but Nebraska will be getting a renovation. That's going to be happening possibly by 2026. The funds still need to be raised, and the total projection of this project is not yet known. It is very preliminary. The next stadium that's getting renovated, it is Beaver Stadium, home of Penn State. Around a $700 million renovation that's to be completed by the 2027 regular season. It's going to be huge. We have not seen any updated renderings. These renderings are from a while ago. I think they're from 2018 or 2019. You know, they've thought of renovating Beaver Stadium multiple times, and I do think it is going to receive a significant exterior renovation where they're going to close it off probably with brick, a very nice finish, and also some type of interior modernization, possibly getting new seats. Although we will see, I would expect the capacity to remain above 100K. We're waiting on the updated renderings for Beaver Stadium, and the bulk of the construction of this project will probably happen in 2025 and 2026, if I had to guess, and probably also 2027 going into the fall when it comes to that stadium. The next one, it is Valley Children's Stadium, home of Fresno State. They're expecting a $250 million renovation. This was announced back in May of 2023. The project has already began with some suites getting upgraded, but the rest and the bulk of the project is yet to be funded and will be on a city ballot this year. So they're just modernizing their stadium. You can see the updated renderings. That's a lot of money, $250 million for Fresno State. It looks very nice, though. We'll see if they're able to do it. The next stadium renovation, it is Ben Hill Griffin Stadium in Florida, otherwise known as the Swamp. They are expecting around a $400 million modernization to their stadium. The renderings have yet to be revealed, but $400 million for a stadium renovation, it is pretty significant. I would expect an upgraded exterior look as well as possibly modernizing the interior seats, maybe taking out a few seats, putting in some bar areas and what have you. Just looking at this stadium, you can tell it is a little bit older. It does need some type of renovation, and it is getting a big renovation to the tune of $400 million. The next stadium that's getting renovated, it is Michie Stadium, home of Army. It's a $145 million restoration project that's going to be completed by the 2025 regular season. I've always loved these renderings, you know, with the water there. It's such a good location for a stadium because on the one side you've got the dense fall foliage, and then the other side it's just the nice water. But yeah, you can see the exterior is being renovated there, as well as a lot of suites on the interior. The one side is getting a full makeover, so that will be happening. $145 million there and completed over the next 2 years. The next one, it is David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium. This was announced right before the start of the season in August. They're getting a huge makeover. The project is beginning pretty much right now with phase 1. The total stadium renovation will be completed by 2025, and they will really build up this stadium, including an upper deck now, As you can see, the exterior design there, it's supposed to cost almost $400 million. That should be good for Kansas football. They really have come a long way. The next renovation, it is Folsom Field. They are just getting an upgraded video board. They kind of went viral, Colorado did, for having an extremely small Jumbotron. And this one, quite honestly, it's not very big either, but that's happening. It's around $15 million. And then you also do have the newest renovation that was announced, the Cotton Bowl renovation that will be happening. It's a 2-year project that will be completed by 2026, mainly focusing on the exterior there as well as the interior concourse. The Cotton Bowl is very old, very out of date. This is a much needed renovation. Although just looking at it, I don't think the renovation looks all that great. It's hard with the Cotton Bowl because it's like, there's not a big incentive to fund it. This project is supposed to cost around $140 million. The Cotton Bowl has no true tenant. It's best known for, at this point, hosting the Texas-Oklahoma rivalry game every year. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.